On the Army Day, it is a matter of pride to place on record the great contribution that the Indian Army has made in protecting and building the nation. India would not have been the thriving democracy and the rising nation it is but for the hard work and sacrifices made by the officers, JCOs and men who shaped the army. Tremendous challenges have been overcome by our last bastion over the past 7 decades to stand proud and be counted as a respected and trusted national institution. As India stands at the portals of global leadership, it is a moment to rejoice and savor successes. Simultaneously, it is also pertinent to look ahead on this day, take stock of the situation, and prepare to tackle the challenges ahead. The foremost challenge which the Indian Army faces is from a Pakistan in toxic decay and a predatory China in decline. The danger is that both these nations are modernizing their militaries and expanding them at an unprecedented pace despite their economic woes. While the Indian Army is preparing to confront both adversaries conventionally, individually or in collusion, the real challenge is elsewhere. Besides the conventional threat, both pose a major threat through escalated gray zone activities along the lock and lack with imaginative malevolence. Indications of the past few months clearly point to the future shape of things to come. Secondly, there will be enhanced friction and confrontation as part of their gray zone activities. The challenge is that Indian Army will not only have to respond appropriately to these actions, but mount its own actions in this new paradigm, while ensuring that a small spark does not escalate into an uncontrolled conflagration. The Indian Army leadership will have to find methods to not only to protect the territorial integrity and sovereignty of the nation, but to ensure a modicum of peace prevails. The Indian Army needs to be modernized to meet the challenges posed by our adversaries across the entire spectrum of operations. Modernization of the Indian Army must also be seen in the context of India's role in the global order and the necessity to have capabilities befitting a major regional power. Revolution of military affairs has given way to disruption in military affairs brought about by technologies which are disrupting conventional thought. Hence, modernization must include these technologies. It is important that the Indian Army identifies those technologies which are relevant to our environment and evolve clear roadmaps of modernization. There is a need to focus on those technologies suiting our high-altitude environment, where conflict is most likely to occur. The Indian Army will only be able to modernize if there is conceptual clarity on these issues. Further, its modernization programs have been constrained badly by inadequate funding. Modernization of the Army with contracting budgets to meet future threats through newly adopted technologies is a daunting challenge for the Indian Army and its leadership. There is immense hard work ahead. Indian Army has been behind the curve in force modernization for quite some time now. In the larger scheme of things, there is no alternative to Atmanirbhar for the Indian Army. Historically, the Army has been an import-dependent force. Barring islands of success in self-sufficiency, most efforts at indigenization have come to naught or have been bogged down by delays in conceptualization, decision-making, development, or production. The need for a light tank in high altitude was identified early last year. We have full-spectrum capability to develop one indigenously in a couple of years. Yet nothing is in sight. We have designed and developed a 155mm artillery gun but are unable to produce in required numbers for the past 5 years. We have been able to design, develop, produce, and induct a long-range guided rocket within a couple of years. However, we are unable to extend its range even when cutting-edge technologies are available in India. Indian Army needs major introspection to get over the hurdles of Atmanirbhar. Unless the Army exercises the ghosts within, learns to take some risk and drives the system by taking on responsibility to do so, it will remain stagnant, underfunded and poorly equipped. The mental shift to make Atmanirbhar happen is the biggest challenge which the